Adam Frick Verdine is an audio guru who enjoys creating podcasts with cinematic quality, which means you hear every word, note, footstep, and sigh.
What's that?
But his latest project originated at home when his daughters, adopted from Korea, were young. The girls fell in love with a traditional Korean Cinderella-like story called Pear Blossom.
So 6 years ago, when we were getting ready for bed, I just got the idea for a song in my head. And ran downstairs and sort of sketched it out and jotted it down. And wasn't sure exactly what I would end up doing with it, but I had that idea for a song and thought, well, I want to make some version of this for my girls and for my kids.
That song grew into a fully scripted story as Adam brought together writers, actors, and musicians to produce Pear Blossom, a serialized audio story for families.
I don't even know where to begin. Oh, Haru, have some faith. Uncle is just doing what he thinks is best. Maybe he'll get a job with the mayor today. Pear Blossom. She's interesting. I like her a lot. She is very loyal, very strong, and kind. I think in the beginning of the story, she doesn't have many boundaries. She doesn't really know how to say no, which is I relate to a lot from my childhood. And so I liked being able to watch her grow from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, being able to be like, no, this is who I am. I'm not going to serve you, Uncle. You're being mean. So I really like her transformation, that she's not a flat character.
The Pear Blossom series is the first for Frick Verdine's Fablist stories. Its first season will include intertwined characters from 5 different cultures, all with universal messages.
So Fablist is audio fables for modern families. We tell cinematic audio stories is what I call them. So cinematic audio stories that have a simple moral message at their core. So they're all based on fables and fairy tales and legends from world cultures, and we're sort of reimagining them and modernizing them.
The Fablist stories are available for download through the website, as well as iTunes, Google Play, and every other major podcast app.
Sewing, stitching,
Unlike traditional audiobooks, Fablist stories are an immersive experience.
if I were that type of girl.
So again, that's why I wanted to make something that wasn't just an audiobook, but that was really fully engaging, that you can turn the screen off and just create a world. You know, the kids can sort of imagine the world in their mind. There's a full cinematic sound design, so we have all the footsteps and Foley and all the stuff that we would do for a film. So it's a really rich soundscape.
Fablist Stories became a reality thanks to what's known as fiscal sponsorship from a relatively new St. Louis-based organization, Midwest Artist Project Services, or MAPS.
We realized there was a need for artist professional development and education here in St. Louis, as well as a need for access to funds for projects that didn't necessarily need to be 501c3 nonprofits.
MAPS works with artists of various mediums, and those artists are able to use its not-for-profit status to obtain funding.
I think, though, what's really rewarding for us is the feeling that we've empowered these artists to really feel like they could make it happen. I mean, there is nothing more magical than making something out of nothing, right? You have an idea and making it a reality.
When will it be time to...
For actress and singer Erica Lee, Pear Blossom was a project she could also take back to the classrooms where she teaches. She's hoping to find grant money to create a curriculum that teachers around the globe could use to connect to the Fablist stories.
Part of a passion of mine is creating the intersection between education in the classroom and theater outside of the classroom, and bringing it to teachers who don't necessarily have theater background, and them being able to just pick up a packet and be like, cool, I can do this for my classroom. They can learn literature, math, science through theater. So that was something that was exciting to work on with Pear Blossom, kind of working on fables and morals and putting that into the classroom through movement, through song, through technology, because there's a component where they record their own audio stories on their iPads, which is really exciting.
How will I know that spring
With the launch of Pear Blossom, the group behind it hopes enough people and donors support Fablist stories so they can produce more stories for children to enjoy and learn simple lessons.
And they all have these really simple moral messages, not based on any religion or any doctrine, but really simple global things that hopefully everybody can agree on, like be kind to other people and tell the truth and those sorts of basic things.